Okay, so I've started trying to animate in Blender, and I found this great little rig. It's a little flour sack rig, and it's on Gumroad, and it's free to download. And I actually created a little walk cycle with it. So let me show you that. Okay, so here is the walk cycle, and I'm just gonna hide some of the stuff. Let's see. There and here. Okay. So you're just kind of trucking along, and it's 22 frames, 1 to 22. Okay, and the keys look like this. Okay. And actually did it on 23 frames, but I slid the timeline over to 22 so it would loop. Okay. So I thought it'd be fun to show you how I would approach another animation. Okay, so let's open the original rig file. Okay, so it's going to come in like this, and I'm going to change this to start frame 1 because I like to work on odd numbers, and the end time we'll just say 23. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start blocking in a death animation for this little flour sack. Okay. And zoom in a little bit, and you're gonna see all these little controllers and nodes and stuff. So I'm just gonna hide everything but these controllers. So up here I'm on the rig, I'm in pose mode, and I'm on this little, it looks like a little dude over here. And if you click in a little blank spot, it hides all of the rig. And if you click this, it will show just these controllers. And you can do a lot with just these controllers, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and I like to use the lasso tool to select stuff. And middle mouse will rotate, and shift middle mouse will move around like this. Okay, so when I was at the tire shop, I did some sketches. And I was kind of thinking about this, where he does an anticipation, and then he comes up and spins, and then maybe he does another anticipation and then jumps up and then lands on his back, and he's like floop. Okay. And I did these with my Namiki fountain pen and water brush and my little custom watercolor kit that I made, and also a white Prismacolor pencil just to add a little bit to it. Okay, so that's the idea. That's the plan anyway. So I'm going to treat this just like I did my sketches. So I'm going to select all my controls, and let me see if I can hide these dotted lines under extras. Oh, relationship lines. There we go. Okay, so if you click up here, it's under overlays and relationship lines. I just click that off to get rid of the dotted lines. Okay, so I'm going to hit I, and it's going to key everything. And actually I'm going to go over to 0 and hit I again and key it just in case I need this pose again. But we're going to start with this pose, and we're going to go over to 3 and hit I and set a key. So now I can hit these up and down arrows to flip between my key frames. Okay. So I'm going to go to frame 3 and start with the anticipation pose. Let's go ahead and start rotating this around, and we'll move it down. Okay, and if I hit R, it will go to rotate, and G will go to move. Over here. Okay, so we start here and nothing set. Okay, that's because I forgot to set a key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on auto keying right here and do this again. Get my anticipation down. I'll really exaggerate and get a squash in here. We can always change this later. Nothing set in stone. I really want to get him to squash down, and maybe this will come up a little, and maybe his we'll call these his arms. Maybe they come down like this. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about my timing yet. I'm just going to get my poses in here. Okay, so anticipation, and then he's going to come up. So I'm going to select everything, hit I. He's going to come back up. So I could copy this first pose. If I select all these keys, Control copy, come over here, Control V, copy, paste. Okay, and it just gives me it zeroes everything out and gives me a good starting spot. Okay, and you could also zero everything out over here. So let's see, he's gonna come down and then start coming up. So let's make that pose. Okay, and this controller rotates everything, but I want him to pivot around this foot, and I think I want him to pivot on the center. So what I'm going to do is select all of these controllers, shift select them, and then I'm going to move him over to the 0, and this is where he's going to spin around. Okay, so boom. And he's going to start twisting. I want to get him to twist around like this. And maybe this foot will drag. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to work, but we'll see. So maybe this arm will drag. And this one will drag because he's spinning around this way. Like that. Okay. Let's go back to the front. Anticipation. And boom. He's going to start coming up. So let's get him. I'm going to scoot him over just a little bit more. Like this. Okay, and we'll start this spinning. Okay, we'll just do 90 degrees for now. we'll go over 2 frames and spin it 90 degrees again. And you could type this in. I'm just gonna visually do it. And 2 more frames. Let's try to have him spin twice. Okay. Whoa. So we'll go 2 more frames and do 90. Okay, 2 more frames and 90 again. 2 more frames, 90 again. Again. Oops, that's over 90. And back to the start. Okay. So he's like, whoa. Okay. So I'm just gonna hit play real quick. Okay. And so now I want this pose at 19 different. And he's gonna come into that pose. Okay. So I'm going to select everything and key it, and then I'm not sure how many frames. I'm just going to go 13 and key all, and then that will give him a few frames to get into that pose, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's say this is the beginning pose of him up here. No, I feel like he needs his own pose. So let's take this first pose, this one right here, and just paste it right here. Okay. And then we'll just we'll repose him. I want a certain look for this pose. You know, like he's like, oh. Maybe I need to rotate that a little more bend in it. Yeah, so I want something more along the lines of this. Maybe translate these up. I like them better down. Okay, so this is right as he's coming to a stop on a spin. Whoa! And then he's gonna fall back and land on his back. Okay, and so we could just go ahead and set that pose, or we could straight ahead into it, kind of like just feel it and animate into it. I'm gonna go ahead and pose it out. So let's go to frame 21 and select everything and deselect that controller. I'm gonna copy, go to frame 21 and paste. And this, he'll be laying on his back. So I wonder if I could move that. No, I think I want to animate this. We'll see. This might not work out. Go to the left viewport. Oh, I think it will. Just get him laying down like this. It's death animation. Nope. Yeah, this might end up working out. Okay, but I think I'd want his feet. Maybe rotate it out this way a little more. And maybe his arms. Rotate it down and out. And I still want him to look cute while he's laying here, so maybe we could have... Let's see what it looks like if we put his feet up like this. No, I think I want him to hit. I think I want him to come down on the ground, because like a breakdown pose or something, we could do that where his feet are up and all like cute looking before they fall down. And let's just try to get a nice pose from all angles here. Because I'm making this with the idea that it's for a video game. Okay, so kind of want it to work from all angles. Okay. That's his death. Boom. Okay, and another thing we could do is we could select everything, select all of our keys, right click and go to interpolation mode, and let's set this to constant. And that will step all of the keys. I'm gonna extend the timeout. Okay, so let's work on this. He comes into this and then he'll boop go down to that. So let's try getting an anticipation here. We'll select all the keys, move this down. So now I'm on frame 21. I'm going to set a key. And let's go for this anticipation again. Okay. And this might not be as extreme as the first one we did. Okay, this foot's gonna start coming down. And this is pretty much exactly how I would start animating a character in Wizard 101. But you could do this for any game and export it using Unity or whatever engine you want. So we'll worry about the arms later, because they might be dragging as he's coming down. You know, so a little drag, and then he's gonna pop up, so we need a little space in here. So I'm gonna select everything and move this down. This will be frame 23. I'll set a key, and this is him popping up. So let's go back to our original pose. I'm going to select all these keys, copy, go here and paste. Now he can jump up. Let's see if we can get him kind of in this in the air type pose. looks really twisty, doesn't it? So, and I'm trying to be mindful of not breaking the model too much as well. Like see if I twist this, how it gets all pinched. If we can rotate this, remove it, translate it. Let's see what it looks like. Oh. Okay, so I can already tell I need to move his death pose back. Cause see, like I wanna get an arc right here, right? So that means I need to select this and this and this, scooting back. And then when he hits, this will be scooted back as well. Like this. And this is where I was talking about we could add his feet up, like his upper back hits first. So let's scoot all of this over. Let's set a key. Just make sure everything's keyed. Scoot this over. Everything on 2s. Okay, 23, 25, 27 will be the same as 29. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And then we're going to kind of animate backwards. Okay. So what I mean by that is we're going to copy 29 to 27. But this is him coming down. So this is feet. See how it's all pinchy? I want to make sure and not pinch it. Ooh. Maybe these arms still up here, and then boop. Okay, this is not that cute, I admit, so we're gonna work on that. I'm getting kind of cute. Getting cute looking. Appeal. That's a word I'm looking for. We're gonna try to have a little more appeal to him. This is where he hits. Ugh. Maybe his feet are more like this. Folded in. Maybe they're pointed inwards, maybe. Let's scoot him in. See if it's cuter. Yeah, a little. Makes him a little fatter. A little fatter, a little cuter. Ugh. I wonder if we could scoot these in maybe. And, okay, let's make sure we're back on 2s. Key all. Scoot this down. Everything's selected. Make sure everything's keyed. 31, 29. So I have to extend our timeline out. Okay, let's just bring it out to 39. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Okay, so we're starting to block it in, right? He's like, whoa, oh, his death. He spins. But let's play a little bit with timing and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. So this is looking good, but I want to slow things down. So let's extend our timeout to like 51, we'll say. Okay, and I'll show you how to slow things down and get a little more character in your timing, a little more texture. Okay. So this is where he comes down for the anticipation, right? So let's scoot everything down. 4, 5, 6 frames. So now we're on 1 and 9. Okay. Gonna come down into that. Let's change, select all your keys, right click, interpolation mode. We're gonna set everything to linear. Okay. And I'll show you why we did that. So now he's coming down into this pose, right? So let's go to frame 7, set a key, and scoot that over to 3. Okay. So, he's going to get down into that really fast. Feel that? It's really fast. Let's select everything and scoot this all over to 5. So now here's our pose 1, and now he's going down, and then it takes him till frame 11 to get down in that pose, okay? Because he's going to kind of hold it. Do you feel that? So he's getting into it and going a little further. And so right in here, this is where we could drag his ears or his arms, right? So we could have like bring this down, and like we could start playing now with like it's coming down, so this ear is dragging. Okay. And I'm going to delete this key. Okay. And now I'm going to work on this ear. So I want this ear to get there a little bit sooner than the other one. Okay, so let's see what that feels like. Okay, and so now I want this one to get there just 1 frame earlier. Okay, and if we need to slow the spin down, we can add more time in between here. I kind of like it, but I do want to slow him down coming into this final pose right here, right? He's coming around and I want him to slow into this pose. I'm going to select these keys and just move him down. See what it feels like. So now this pose right here is at 31. See how it slows it down? And I might even speed this up. hit right here. So I'm going to delete, right click, delete keyframes. And I'm going to scoot all of these keys over. 37. Boom. And we can do a breakdown pose in there later. And in here. Boom, boom. Because right now, this is what the computer's giving us. Is going from here to here. But I'll definitely want his legs to kick out. Like in here. So that might look like something like this. And then this could, his hips could kind of come out as well. Okay, let's hit play. Okay, so if we need him to cushion in, so he comes up and boom, hits right here. And we need him to cushion into this. But I would need a breakdown pose right in here. So let's go ahead and add that real quick. In between here and here, so I'm going to scoot these over 2 frames, set a key, and this will be a breakdown pose. So this is coming down quick, and maybe it's dragging, and maybe his, keep calling them ears, arms, ears. Ear arms, that's what they are. They're gonna maybe stretch and come down. I want his legs to cushion into that, okay? See if we can get that to work. So don't worry about that. That's just what the computer's giving us, but we can fix that later. Go in here. These legs in here. Okay, I'm going to copy this key and put it right here. See what that gives us. I'm going to do the same for this back foot. I'm going into this pose, so I'm going to copy that pose, paste it 2 frames ahead, and then kind of animate backwards. I'm going to bring it up, out like this, and then it can go into that. And we'll need a breakdown in here before that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and add that. We'll do this on frame 36. That's fine. And get something in there down and dirty. There we go. Hide the rig. Okay, so then you can go in here and start doing your breakdowns and in-betweens, and like see how these arm ears, like that pose, they're kind of weird looking, and that's probably because it's, yeah, we didn't set a key for it, so that's what the computer's giving us. Okay, but we could go in here, stretch it out. That I'm just trying to find a pose that looks stretchy and, you know, like it's coming from, you know, so he's coming up. Right here, these are dragging. I'll make these ear arms drag. Let's see what that feels like. Let's hold this a little longer. Oof. Okay. If we can get a little more hold in there. That. Okay. So, but that changes the up here, right? So let's go ahead and get that up there. Copy, paste. Okay, and we'll get these animated. So still coming down. Still coming down. And then let's have them hit sooner. Oosh. And we'll actually have them come back up a little, like that. Like a little, yeah, a little bounce. And you could offset them if you want. So let's just offset that one like that. And we could do the same. Do you see that? They're kind of offset. Boop, boop. And we could do that with the legs. So they come down. And then see how they're just parallel? Well, instead of offsetting the keys, what we can do is actually animate them offset for that key pose. Okay, so like, let's say this foot doesn't get there as fast. So I can bring it down, but this one is already starting to go. This way we can still manage our keys and keep it simple. And so the right one gets there first. And we'll have this one get there last, like that. I'm not sure why it's all twisty right there. Let's change that. And this one's lagging behind, so let's have it lag, bring it out. Okay, let's turn off our rig and see what it feels like. Okay, there's our little flower sack death animation. Alright, well good luck, have fun, and until next time, happy animating.